Ruben Amorim knows he has to win with this Manchester United team now, and that's why he's devised a genius plan.
Do you see reasons to be optimistic now? Can you see the sort of start of something positive moving forward for United?
I think Ruben Amorim's got his way and his style of coaching, of his tactics, the way he wants to set up a team, and I think that...
Talk is cheap. Ruben Amorim knows this. He knows he needs to act on his words, so he's come up with a plan. Amorim's surefire steps to getting back on track in the ultimate goal of winning the Premier League. And step one, it's admitting they've fallen off. Different pundits, the coach, some players, fans. Everyone connected with Manchester United has had the general idea. The 2024-25 season was a new all-time low in Premier League terms. They finished 15th in the league with 42 points, the lowest at the club since the 1989-90 season, and the fewest points in a top-flight campaign since the 1973-74 season. See, the idea here is Ruben Amorim isn't mincing words. Yes, he did say the ultimate goal is to win the league, but at the same time, he's not hiding the fact that United was a mess last season.
In 10 games in Premier League, we won 2. I know that. Imagine what is this for a fan of Manchester United. Imagine what is this for me. We are getting a new coach that is losing more than the last coach. I have full knowledge of that. Like I said, I'm not going to change, no matter what. And I know we can succeed, but we need to survive this moment because I'm not naive. And I know that we need to survive now. So we are being the worst team, maybe, in history of Manchester United. And I know that you want headlines, but I'm saying that because we have to acknowledge that and to change that. So here you go, your headlines.
I mean, there's a lot in this. He's once again honest. He states the facts as they are. He came in and lost more games and had a worse win percentage than his predecessor, Erik ten Hag. He also acknowledges how difficult it must be as a fan watching Manchester United. You might see this as Amarim attempting to appease the crowd, but the truth is, all of this is very much needed. To get better, they had to address the situation. It's very clear now that the season they had cannot be repeated again, and so, with step one out of the way, it's time for the next plan. Step two, the big rebuild. I mean, it was coming. This summer was bound to be massive for Ruben Amorim. It's almost as if everything he'd said in the past wasn't just to pacify the fans, but to prepare for this month. It's very easy to forget that Amorim initially didn't want to join United that early into the start of last season. However, once the point was made clear to him that it was either then or never, he chose to join and endure that difficult run. Now, Amarim has his first full window at the club. We are already seeing what he wants his rebuild to look like. In terms of the first team players getting into the squad, Amarim's following a similar path. What do Matheus, Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo have in common, apart from being statistically better than anything United have got going forward? Both are also Premier League proven quality. Cunha had 15 league goals last season. That's already more than any United attacker from the previous campaign. 6 assists too, 21 goal contributions in the league, the joint 6th highest in the league. It gets better with Cunha too. See, his goals represent something United has lacked over the years. The 21 goal contributions he bagged represent 38.9% of Wolves' total number of goal contributions in the league. What this simply means is that Matheus Cunha, to a large extent, carried that Wolves team going forward. Immediately, he becomes a player Amorim can look to ease that creative and goal-scoring burden Bruno Fernandes has been carrying for years. He also fits Amorim's system. The manager has made it clear he won't change this style. Cunha easily slots in as a left-handed number 10 in the front three. He works hard, he presses, and has an end product. It's the same with Bryan Mbeumo too, arguably even better. Only Mohamed Salah, Alexander Isak, and Erling Haaland scored more goals than Mbeumo's 20 last season. Even at that, 20 goals for a Brentford side that, with no disrespect, didn't seem like serious contenders for anything other than finishing outside the top half of the table. Impressive. It's even more impressive considering that Mbeumo rarely operated as a centre-forward last season. Most of his games came from playing on the right of Brentford's attack. He ranked first for crosses in the league with 202, 144 shot-creating actions and 20 goal-creating actions. He wasn't just getting on the end of chances, he was creating them at an astonishing rate. Then, just like Cunha, Mbeumo works hard. Really hard. 387.6 km last season. He covered the third most distance in the league. With 870 sprints, he ranked third in the league for total sprints. He's the modern-day version of what a winger is supposed to be, combining the end product with hard work. That's what Amarim has now. See, what he's doing is addressing a situation. The attack was dreadful for Manchester United last season. Rasmus Højlund couldn't score enough goals. Joshua Zirkzee had a spell where he looked like he could become the real deal at the club after a bad first few games, and then got injured. Once again, the goal scoring and creativity fell on the shoulders of Bruno Fernandes, but now that responsibility becomes a triple threat. With Cunha and Mbeumo, Amarim has a combined 35 Premier League goals from the previous campaign in his squad now. The attack is going through a major overhaul, and it's almost complete. There's one more piece missing, but this one is proving to be very controversial. Centre forward, Manchester United, a position the club used to boast of for years. Now, it's a position they desperately need to strengthen. They've been linked to different names in recent weeks. It seems more likely now that Victor Gyökeres will join Arsenal than the slim hopes of him joining Manchester United. Heck, they have even been linked to Nicholas Jackson and Moise Kean. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is another name that keeps popping up on United's radar as a free agent. It's clear now that whichever name the club does end up signing, the plan is to get an experienced striker up top. That's why the laughable idea of Jackson does seem to make sense, even if it is still laughable. Yes, he might be Chelsea's third choice now, with Joao Pedro and Liam Delap, but as crazy as this might sound, he's still better than the options United have got in attack. I mean, 15 goal contributions to Højlund's 4? Ouch! You'd expect the club to get linked to even more names in the coming weeks. Still, the idea is clear. This step is very important for Ruben Amorim, because it's the first summer where he gets the actual chance to rebuild his team the way he wants. And as part of the rebuild, the flip side is getting rid of the players he doesn't want. Marcus Rashford. Amarim wasn't joking when he said he'd play his goalkeeper coach over Rashford because Rashford didn't show enough in training. He allowed Rashford to leave on loan, and now, via Fabrizio Romano, Marcus Rashford, to Barcelona on loan, is now officially here we go. Long term, it fits Amarim's plan. There's no point keeping or training a player who he doesn't see working with his system, but Rashford is just one of 4 big names expected to leave the club this summer. The next one? It's the star boy who never became a star at the club, Alejandro Garnacho. I mean, you know you're cooked when your manager is laughing at the idea of you ever playing for the club again. Amarim has since approved the deal to sell Garnacho. The problem now is that since the start of the transfer window, there haven't been any concrete offers coming in for Garnacho yet. Napoli was once linked to him, but they've gotten Noah Lang instead. Still, Garnacho is expected to leave. He's part of a group that Amarim has now ordered to train after 5 p.m. Why? Because that's when anyone, the media to be precise, would have left Carrington. The plan is for these 4 to not be seen with the group anymore. Rashford down, Garnacho still in the works. The third, now this one should be done in the coming days. Remembering Jadon Sancho is still a Manchester United player after the 2024-25 season he had is mind-blowing. Off the back of playing on loan for a Borussia Dortmund team that got to the final of the 2023-24 Champions League final, Sancho came back and spent last season on loan at Chelsea. 5 goals and 10 assists in all competitions for the Blues. He helped them win the Conference League, and it was starting to look like a real possibility that Chelsea took the 25 million clause to sign Sancho. And they did. But Sancho said no. He said no, not because he wasn't interested in the project. Sancho was on a reportedly weekly wage of 350k at United. Chelsea tried to match Sancho to their wage structure by offering around £180 to £200k to Sancho, and he turned it down. He's back at United, but the feeling is that Sancho wouldn't be at the club for long. If this goes through, it's a win-win. Amarim gets rid of a player he's never worked with and doesn't intend to work with. The club gets rid of a 350k Sancho off the payroll, freeing up the budget for a possible addition who should cost less and provide more quality. With him gone, Amarim would have just one more player to think about. Except in this player's case, it's not because he isn't good or doesn't fit the system, it's a case of a new opportunity. Antony. Unlike the others, he did get chances under Ruben Amorim. The only thing is that the manager simply preferred Ahmad, who was in more form than Antony. Antony then went to Real Betis, bagged 14 goal contributions in 26 games, and helped Real Betis reach the Conference League final. He's back at the club, but just like Sancho and Rashford, the idea is that Antony leaves soon. Amarim's step 2 is crystal clear, transparent even. Get rid of the players he doesn't need. Try to raise a profit that can be reinvested into the club. Keep the ones they need. Players like Bruno Fernandes, Ahmad, Mainoo, and Amorim demand maximum concentration now, and that's the third step of his plan. Full focus, no distractions. For him, it's about taking each game at a time, not thinking about the next one before it comes. This season, he'll have plenty of time to do that. After losing the Europa League final and finishing 15th, the club won't have any European football obligations next season. As much as this is a bad thing, a club like United, with their standing and history not participating in continental football, on the plus side, however, it's a chance for United to play a season without pressure from multiple ends. The full focus now will surely have to be on competing to qualify for European football. Top 4 might require another summer's worth of rebuilding, but with the players in the team now added to the existing ones, this is a squad that, with everything going correctly, should be pushing for European football. To focus fully, Amarim demands consistency, a fully fit team. I mean, a look at some of the United players in pre-season shows this Casemiro looks lean. Same with Luke Shaw. The squad has to be fit. They need the energy to run the yards in the league. It's for this reason that Amarim is also integrating the younger players into the team. The likes of Chido Obi Martin, who probably won't have been expecting to be getting a debut at the time he did, but given United's horrible goal-scoring form, got pushed straight into the team. Players like Toby Collier, new signing Diego Leon, Harry Amos, the established youngsters in the team. The likes of Aiden Heaven, Lenny Yoro, Mainoo, and Patrick Dorgu. The 2025-26 season is going to be huge for Manchester United. As bad as Amorim's first half season was, the general idea was that he needed time. He's gotten that time and the funding to build the team now. The steps are public. He still needs more quality to the team, but with what he has now, this United team needs to prove a point. What do you guys think? Is Manchester United ready to compete and challenge for European football? Possibly the top 4? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Matchday Moments as well.